good morning. It's day 4, I think, morning 4 in hotel quarantine. Just for the first time I got the newspaper delivered. I'm quite excited actually. I don't usually bother with the newspaper, but I thought it'd be a bit of fun. And on the front page of the Courier Mail, what day is today? Today's Friday the 17th of July. On the front page of the Courier Mail is an article about Lorna Jane, the sport clothing brand for women. They're getting in trouble because they've been claiming that their clothes protects against COVID. And you'll see, can you see that there? Oh, there we. So there's a picture of a lovely lady on the front, and it says go to page 5. So I've just had a look at the story just before. So on the front page there, in page 5, we've got Erin O'Rourke in her antibacterial Lorna Jane activewear. Beautiful girl. But they're getting in trouble because they've been claiming that their new range of clothes offers a protective shield from viruses including COVID-19. So they're getting in a bit of trouble over that. Erin O'Rourke, I would like to send out a public message and say, Erin, I would like if you were to grab the full range of clothes, get over here to hotel quarantine, maybe get the full burqa model, and if you could grab a couple of extra small Lorna Jane socks just for myself, for protection, and yeah, meet you at Novotel. Seems legit. So, in the Courier on page 3 today, I saw someone share this on Facebook the other day. I didn't really read it, but so there's a new sign in the zodiac, which means that all our star signs have been thrown out of whack now because there's this new sign called a serpent. What's it called? The new 13th sign of the zodiac is called Ophiuchus, which is Greek for serpent bearer. Which is really interesting because now that's put everybody's star sign out of whack and moved it along. So I was always like Leo, and now I've become a pure Cancerian, which means now I'm just a very loyal person or something. But I've just noticed that my sister, who used to be a cool, calm, collected Virgo, has become a Leo. So yeah, good luck to that, sis. Good luck being a stubborn old psycho Leo. How the times are changing. But yeah, members of the new star sign are supposed to be complicated, fierce, emotional, and flamboyant, and those people will fall between November 29th and December 17th. So all those people are going to be complicated, fierce, emotional, and flamboyant. But isn't every human complicated, emotional, fierce, and flamboyant on the inside at least? Ophiuchus also knows what it's like to be left out. Don't we all? It has been around since the Babylonians gazed into the night sky and noticed an apparent relationship between the movement of the sun and the constellations more than 3,000 years ago. They divided them into 12 equal parts to form the signs of the zodiac, which suited their 12-month calendar, and those chose to ignore that tricky 13th one on the edge. Ooh. Yeah, check it out. See what star sign you now are. I wonder which person within the Courier Mail gets to decide what articles go together on pages. Like, here's one article: Booted Abby kiss and tell. So she's some chick that's been on Bachelor in Paradise and she got kicked off and she got into bed with a guy and blah blah blah. Nobody cares. She's hot for sure, but the story pretty boring. And then on the same page up here, you've got Watson sails into Netflix. So Jessica Watson, you remember that girl that she was like 16 when she sailed around the world by herself? 210 days by herself on a boat. They're going to put it on Netflix. I'd watch that. That's awesome. Good on her. She's an awesome chick. She's fucking brave. She's, she's just an awesome chick. Like, but how does that story go on the same page as that story? Like, if you own a newspaper, wouldn't you eventually come up with an idea that says, okay, all the really important things about cool people go on one page? So maybe Jessica Watson might go on a page with, I don't know, Nelson Mandela's story or something, and then Booted Abby kisses and tells might go in that page where they have all the little silly jokes or something. Like, I'd like to know who is deciding where all this stuff goes. Like, is there any... Oh, there we go. Amy Price. I might send Amy Price an email, and Sophie Churgwin. Yeah, maybe that'll do. Ask them, actually. Yeah, I'll send them an email. Let them know my thoughts. If I get any feedback, I'll let you know. So on page 4 of the Courier Mail today, that's a Brisbane newspaper in Queensland, in case you don't know, depending on where you're watching from. So there's an article about the CFMEU. I want to turn on that music, it might be a bit loud. Don't even know what it is. So there's an article about the CFMEU, which is, and it stands for Construction, Farming, Mining, Energy Union, or something like that. It's a workers' union anyway, and they're basically just like a bunch of fucking gangsters, really. Like, look at this picture, right? Look at these bunch of big fucking angry fat fucking fuckers just walking along. And like, I'm not just like naively like talking shit about these unions. Like, I've experienced them. I've been on construction sites where they've come in and they've just been these aggressive, angry bastards trying to get you to join their unions. And they're just like gangsters. And the thing they're complaining about is being kicked off sites because they're there to help the people and, you know, get the people what they deserve. But if these were actually like, if these guys were just decent humans that wanted to help people, they'd probably come in here to the hotel quarantine and be like, oh look, these guys can't even open a fucking window. Like, on these construction sites, they complain if they don't get like fucking whatever money it is, $50 an hour, and they don't get their breaks and all this stuff. But if they, maybe they should, I want to call out to the CFMEU to get in here to hotel quarantine, because I want a window that opens. I want to touch the grass with my feet. I want to get some sunshine. I want to go for a run. You know, all those things matter. Like, do you reckon these guys really, really care? Or do you reckon they just want to cause a ruckus? I reckon they just want to cause a ruckus. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. So there's an article here on page 6. Just got my cappuccino delivered. It's magic. You ring up reception in hotel quarantine when you want to order something. You got to pay for it. You get a cappuccino and there's a knock on the door. And like, the corridor is at least 50 meters to the elevators. But you never get to the door when there's still someone there. Like, I want to get to the door and meet someone. But I run to the door, open the door, and the coffee's on the ground and there's no one inside. It's weird. Anyway, there's an article, page 6. And it's about fears of a chain of infection. So there's 3 cases of COVID-19 in New South Wales are under investigation. So they've lost track or whatever. New South Wales Chief Health Officer Dr. Kerry Chant said that authorities could have missed the chain of transmission if the 3 mystery cases were not linked to the existing Crossroads hotel cluster. Like, as if they're not going to miss stuff. Like, me and my colleague, we got on a plane in Sydney with, I don't know how many people on a plane, 200 people, it's packed, 100% capacity, and they don't ask you any questions about where you were until you get off the plane in Queensland. So everyone gets off the plane and goes about their day and goes into all different places, and then any of the people that were in the hotspots get put into quarantine, and everyone else goes their separate ways. So like, they don't track anything. It's absolutely absurd. Like, the rules are made by humans, and we're all humans, and we're all fucking have no idea. Yeah, it's a funny one. So I'm reading an article here on page 10 of the Courier, and the headline is "Helping on the Front Line." But the next sub-headline is, where is that? Helping on the Front Line, 2 billion weapons deal win for nation. Helping on the front line, to me, kind of implies that you're like helping people. 2 billion weapons deal win for nation implies that $2 billion is going to get spent on murdering people. Helping, murdering, they seem a bit contradictory to me. I don't know. A Brisbane company picked to start overhauling 26 army weapons systems under a $2 billion defence contract. And it goes on to say how they're going to use the money to, design a lot of new weapons. It's a 10-year program. They're going to equip soldiers with next-generation pistols, assault rifles, machine guns, sniper rifles, direct fire support weapons and munitions. Like, these people are smart people, are engineers. They have, long-term thinking. They play the long game. What do they think is going to happen? Do they think they're going to win something? Like $2 billion, it's just to kill people. Like, the headline should say, we're spending $2 billion on killing people. Like, $2 billion on killing people. Imagine what you could do with $2 billion. You could fucking feed so many people. Like, I don't know. I think it's really, really, really strange that they can have a headline that says, helping on the front line, 2 billion weapons deal win for nation. What are they helping? They're just killing. It's murder. It should say $2 billion spent on the next 10 years of murder. That would be the reality of it. Maybe I'm just naive, but that's what it looks like. Sovereignty, capability. They use all these words that make it sound like they're helping people. What else is the other word? The benefits of this program are expected to reverberate through the whole economy for decades to come. Really? Yeah, interesting. An article here on page 13, a fair link to dispute. Lumps of steel were hurled onto a neighbour's roof. Where are we? There we go. Onto a neighbour's roof in a dispute over an alleged marital affair occurred has heard. Morayfield man Damien Paul Belson pleaded guilty to willful damage after the neighbourhood clash. So this guy, he found that his neighbour was banging his missus, and he'd been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder as a result. A message for the men and women out there who go crazy when something like this happens, when their partner cheats. Just fucking get out there. Like, if you're going to throw steel around, Mr. Belson, get in the gym, chuck some steel around, go to the pub, get on Tinder, get on Hinge, get on Bumble. There's so many options in there. Get out there and have a crack, mate. Let it go. Move on. Build a bridge. Fucking hell. So, the biggest challenge outside of work tasks today, which proves that I'm an extremely fortunate person in the first world, is that I'm just reading my star sign here. And usually I read the Leo. But I've heard about this new 13 star sign, which is throwing everything out of whack, and now I'm a little bit, I guess, paralysed by analysis. You know what they say, paralysis by analysis? And now that they've got this 13 star sign, it's put every other star sign out of whack, and now I don't know which one to read. It's a dilemma. You know, I've got food in my belly, I've got a bed to sleep in, but I don't know what star sign to read. You know, it's a tough life in the first world, isn't it? Just been a knock on the door. I think it's my Woolworths delivery. So, article on page 24 of the Courier Mail. It's called Living with Virus Will Be New Norm. And it says, some of your correspondents seem to think that the elimination of the coronavirus will be permanent and no repetitive crisis would follow. This is wishful thinking without an effective vaccine. Like, the flu has not been eliminated with a vaccine. So, like, what makes anyone, including experts, think that it's going to be possible to eliminate the coronavirus or the COVID-19? I'm baffled. I'm baffled because we don't seem to eliminate the normal flu. So let's just get on with it. Let's just open the doors, protect the old, protect the sick, love each other, and carry on. You.